Dada Peter.
Yes, Ndare, how are you?
I'm fine, and you, Ndate?
I'm good. Happy to hear from you and also all the co-owners.
Yes, Ned.
Yeah.
I would like to make 3 announcements before you continue.
Okay.
Just to give the shareholders an update as to what is going on.
Okay.
The first update is that if they can go to if they can log into their dashboards and go to their personal details, they will see that the LATOKEN address has been cleared. For all accounts, that field has been cleared. The reason is because we want them to put in the Weownomy Pay wallet address. This will allow them to receive their XWeons. LATOKEN currently doesn't support XWeons in their wallets. So if they put in their LATOKEN wallet addresses, it means that they will lose the XWeons that will be distributed to them. So it is important for them to note that they put in their Weownomy Pay wallet address on the fields that have on that LATOKEN address that has been cleared. They should put in the Weownomy Pay wallet address. The second update is that for all people who have been complaining with the 2-factor authentication, we have disabled 2-factor authentication for all accounts. So all people who have had a problem with 2-factor authentication can log into their accounts without any problem. The last update is that the Weon's distribution is still ongoing. Tomorrow we'll be processing another batch. So I think it's important that the shareholders know that the Weon's distribution is ongoing and will continue to distribute them until all co-owners have been paid. I think with that, it's all from the IT side. So I can let you go ahead, Dr. Peter, with your presentation.
Okay, thank you so much, Andrew, for all that important information. And good evening, all Weownomers, and thank you for your time to really have this important Zoom meetings. And the essence of all these Zoom meetings, to many of you should understand that it clearly articulates what are the current important updates that we do have and why it's important for you to follow up at every week to know what we are doing. So that's very, very clear. As part of you being a member or co-owner, so it's also very important as well to appreciate the information that we share with you. So that's very, very important for you to pay attention as we share this critical information. So it gives you a very understanding to appreciate what we do, what we bring, what we labor tirelessly to share with you. And I think Weownomy is the only startup company that has been able to match daily, weekly presentation that allows the community to understand what really is happening and to follow up consistently with very important news that you need to know. So as our presentation today, we'll be able to focus on very, very critical, important updates that I did share with you, mainly now to deal with what we discussed there at the time regarding the development of a unique program with the private trust exchange, with our hedge fund partner, and most importantly, we are introducing something critically important in the market with our stablecoin XWeon, which is both on the DeFi and offline. It's going to be, and it it's already listed on the private trust exchange. And so the other very important goal is to make sure that we, try and clearly provide a very wonderful update about the very first stages of how, if you own your Weowns, you can be able to exchange it with a good stable value. And more to that, there's a great deal with XWeowns, what we can be able to get with Tether, with the USDT program. And again, the 500 XWeowns that we distributed, we're going to be able to distribute to the whole larger community. And so today, it's a very great news, as you already may be aware, that the XWeowns private trust website is live, and it's mainly to connect the XWeown holders with the private trust exchange, X-bond investors who wish to execute X-bonds over-the-counter deals in a secure way, and that allows to fund the cash outs or the payouts that most of you want. And again, today I'll be able to talk about a very critical acquisition merger with an e-money regulated platform registered in the Isle of Man, which is in between Britain and Ireland. And so that is going to be a great game changer for our whole ecosystem. As you know very well, we talked of the Weownomy neobank, and this comes to really provide us a very wonderful global adoption arrangement with XWeowns and quite a lot. And also it will be very critical for the users who are going to use Weownomy chat. So finally, you'll also be able to learn about the new updates with Weownomy chat and what that means. So it shows that Weownomy ecosystem is now really getting off in a very creative, very disruptive, and very strategically. And again, thank you so much for turning up to really listen in. And as usual, a very creative, very intelligent person should actually be in position to listen, take notes, and understand what is all development is all about, okay? So thank you very much again as you come through to listen. Now, as you are well aware, again, we did share in all the groups, the XWeowns private trust website, which is live, and we congratulate our IT team for such a wonderful job. And the purpose of that private trust XWeown website is to coordinate all the Weownomy holders so that the private trust can be able to get the export investors ready. So if we have 100 only XWeown holders who have submitted the information, so the private trust exchange will definitely match them with 100 X-bond investors. And the way it works is that the revenue that comes from the bond, which is 60%, goes to the holders of XWeowns who are selling, and the 40% comes through as charge fees and shared amongst all the X-bond holders, including the annual arrangements in terms of interest that they do earn. And so both sides have a win-win situation. Now, as you know, we're introducing with our strategic partners, in this case, a private trust exchange, and together with a hedge fund partner, what we call the world's first X-bond liquidity creation. And what this means, as many of these X-bond holders get involved to fund the XWeowns 282 per token. And so for many of you, you may not know why the United States dollar is very powerful. And just a really quick background of why the US dollar has been very powerful. And before, in 1920s, the British pound was very powerful, and with the agreements that came through the Bretton Woods organization after the World War, all the currencies had to be pegged or had to be backed by gold, and that changed in 1970s. And what happened from then, it was very critical for the United States to look for a strategy, and the strategy they looked for was to use the petrodollar, and they reached out to the Arab countries, and they told them that every time you guys allow countries to purchase oil using the dollar, then we're going to supply you weapons, we're going to protect you. And from there, everyone in the world are now linked or with the United States dollar because of that deal that was made in terms of the petrodollar. And that's how powerful it is, that if anything happens with the United States dollar, it affects a whole great part of the whole world. And with that opportunity, the same arrangement, because US had to use what they call the treasuries, also bonds. And so those treasuries, the Arab countries were buying into them in big numbers, in billions of dollars. So that way, the US can easily be able to print their way out and with all the goods and services and expand their debt across the world. Now, with the export, it's also unique liquidity, part of a bond arrangement that allows the bond to fund the token, and the token is able to continuously be stable. And at the same time, with a buyback program, which increasingly allows both the owners of the token and the bondholders to benefit tremendously. And that's something very powerful. And so number one. And number two, as we connect with the private trust exchange, increasingly the bond investors execute their bonds over-the-counter deals in a secure way to continually fund the XWION's token. And again, we also have another strategic arrangement, which means there's a white label exchange traded instrument that allows the bond automatically to be on the Stuttgart Stock Exchange in Germany, the SIX Exchange in Switzerland, Vienna Stock Exchange, and it will be passported across the European Union. And that's a very wonderful process that allows a greater number of strategic investors who want to be exposed to the crypto market. And so what this is bigger than what we thought that can help only the ecosystem. It's going to be very big for the crypto economy. It's going to be very big for the Weownomy ecosystem, the social media platform. And again, with the acquisition that is coming of our own e-money regulated platform, that again is going to really increase the adoption of XWION, and that's going to really make a great impact globally. And so for everyone, you can be able to register on the new website by entering your information. And it's very, very important that they can take you on that website so that you can literally see what is in there to guide you practically on how you can do. So the most important thing is you need to know, it's very important for you to read. This is critically read, and separate your emotions of money and understand that this is equally a business that you need to understand. And every step, whatever we provide to you, leads you to that point of your cash out. It's very important to understand the steps that are required. You sign the XWM's cryptocurrency agreement, read it every day. You sign the discipline agreement, read it every day, so that you are better knowledgeable and you understand. So this is the official website of Weownomy for XWM's exchange. And what this truly means, it provides the information about XWM's, the purpose of XWM's, and what the XWM's value and what it means for the price volatility. And it also talks about the regulated e-money entity that will allow as many people to buy XWM's and at the same time other digital assets like Weownomy. And we can also, we're gonna use the e-money regulated entity for the international remittance. So if you're, that one paragraph alone, if you are someone who's knowledgeable, read, you are going to understand that we have something historical right now happening before your own eyes, okay? And that is very, very critical for you to understand and form groups of knowledgeable people. Avoid gossiping, form groups of knowledgeable people to understand the information that we share with you. It's very, very critical so that you are clearly informed. So with XWM stablecoin, you will be able to use it as a means of payment for buying and selling digital assets with stability and liquidity at all times. So with stability means it's a fixed price at 282, and every quarter it increases with 30% advantage. And then you are also able to have information about how the liquidity is formed by reading this section that says the first and only stablecoin backed by the X-bond liquidity creation. Okay, and we will say we're proud to say that every single aspect of our operation will be transparent, from how many tokens exist on the network, what they are worth, who holds them, and more. So there's going to be a great deal of information that we can send. Then we also have a section where we say one-time payout to all 250,000 members. So the 500 XWM's each 282 stablecoin is traded backed by the X-bond liquidity creation carried out by the private trust exchange for cash out payments. So it's a one-time payment of only 141,000 US dollars minus the 40%, which is shared by all the X-bond, because they are the ones who have actually created the revenue that you take as 60%. So it's going to be provided to 250,000 members each, and everyone will walk away with 500 XWM's after we confirm that you've signed your cryptocurrency agreement via the Weownomy website. And with that information, we also have another section which talks about the Weownomy for XWM. So Weownomy exchange stable value, which starts from $1 to $50 per token for XWM. And what we're doing here is that the XWM stablecoin is the first stablecoin that is going to change all of the digital assets. I just had the Dogecoin founder mention something in one of the press releases, and he said all of the holders of digital assets want their token when it increases. Every time the token increases, the community is happy. And that's the strategy of XWM, that if the token is volatile, it has all this dramatic up and down fluctuation in prices, which is bad for business. And what that means, with this opportunity being provided, you can be able to match it with XWM and you're able to have a stable price from $1 to $50 per token. So that means if you leave your token for a month, you qualify for that value match with XWheels. Why are we doing that? It allows all the community holders, regardless of the token, if it's Weownomy or any other token there, but in this case, we're starting with the flagship token Weownomy, to understand that they need, the more they hold the token, the more value they have it. So they didn't have that, but now with this opportunity being provided by XWheels, it's going to be very possible that if you hold a token for 6 months, the value exchange is $6 of that token, rather than selling it on a spot market whereby it keeps on up and down. And what that does, it will allow all the community people to come through this program. And that way, it will also indirectly, positively affect the Weowno's price in the spot market, which will tremendously increase because as many people buy it and they want to participate in the conversion program, they are also indirectly building the value of of Weowno's in the spot market. So that's something very interesting. And that's a section. And there will be a form that will be linked just below it, where we say trade your volatile digital asset to stable Weownomy. So before that, we have trade your 500x Weownomy. So what do? You click to get started, you click, and you'll see this form. And so when you see this form, it means it says it's 500x Weownomy backed, X-bond liquidity creation, cash out payment. So again, because of our community, and especially in the continent, unfortunately, they don't want to pay attention to details. And I want you to read. If you don't read 9 times the document or anything that you read, then you don't understand what you're doing, because the more you read, the more you understand, and the more you appreciate the process of and the effort of what is being done. But the more you ask, when is the cash out, without understanding everything that is being presented with you through reading critically as many times as possible. And I challenge you 9 times. And when I say 9 times, you read patiently with the pen, make notes. Don't rush to just fill up things without reading. Read 9 times. That's what my mentor told me. 9 times, every time you read, you're going to see something you did not understand. You're going to understand quickly, and you're going to be an expert because you understand. Don't read once and you think you've done. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. Then, after you read 9 times, which will take you 30 minutes, then make conclusive decisions on what is required for you to fill up, so that you know that I'm making this decision. I understand what I'm doing, and I appreciate that I'm doing it with information that I have perused and read again and again, and I'm happy with my answers that I provide. So separate your emotions and understand what is being provided to you, read it carefully, and then understand it. So this document, this Google form says, we're excited to learn more about your 500x Weownomy needs. Complete a one-time transaction on the blockchain. What this means, if you ever mess with your 500x Weownomy, don't come back like what happened with the situation of Weownomy, whereby people messed up. So this time, you know very well that I am making a clear decision how I'm going to use this one-time transaction, and I am knowledgeable enough that I can write my needs and I can understand what I'm going to do so that I am happy with the decision. That way, you are able to embrace and understand the challenges you have. Because I receive a lot of emails, someone tells me, my kid has not gone to school, that is the time you need to write down and say, this amount I need to pay for my school fees for the kids. I don't have money for rent. Write it down before you even think about the cards. Write down the basic needs of what really affects you on a daily basis and say, when I receive this amount, this is what I want to do. And write down that I'm also going to buy more Weowns so that I can continue in my journey of personal wealth creation. Without you writing down, as many people say, we have already plans. You don't have plans until you understand your daily challenges. And that's what we are requiring you to put down. And this enables you to plan upfront accordingly, so that once the expon liquidity creation cash out payment process is done, when you receive the money, you already know what you are going to do. You are happy with your final decision, and you are happy of what you have decided. If you have not done that, and you're concentrating on one thing, saying when is the cash out is going to happen, but it could happen on your disadvantage because your mind is not prepared. And that's why right now, sit carefully, read this document, and it says a complete one-time transaction on the blockchain in order to create a liquidity for this cash payout. What it means that there is going to be a process when you submit your XWEO needs of how much you want for the XBond investors to participate in, and then you will need to enter a wallet address where we can send it from our side. You will first receive the XWEO and then complete the transfer from your side as well. So, you give us, and then we are able to process it with the private trust exchange. And then we know exactly your name, your wallet address, and your email address. And then you confirm that you have signed the XWEO cryptocurrency agreement. And I told you again, read it 9 times every day. You understand the XBond liquidity creation will need to be accomplished to enable the cash payouts, and that the payment will be one time. You need to listen and understand these important things as you fill out this critical form. Okay? Then, are you currently a Weownomy member? Definitely, because this is a Weownomy member. If you say no, you don't. You are not eligible to be part of this program. How much of the 500 XWEOs are you willing to sell? Please be very careful what you state here. You need to have a pen, and you need to understand that this is a one-time transaction, and be smart when you make your decisions. You know your needs, you know the challenges you're going through, and you understand what you need, how much you need to sell, how much you need to save, whatever. So you need to even consult your financial advisors so that they can help you to make good decisions, okay? Before you make reckless decisions, okay? Because this time, if you get that payment and you mess up with it, the company will legally have your own consent to say, here, he got the payment, he agreed to all these steps, and he has no tie with us in terms of anything else. So please be very smart when you are answering this question. Very important. Okay. Then move forward. You enter your Weownomy Pay wallet address. And then the final one, confirm that you understand that this is a one-time transaction only, and that the liquidity creation process was completed. You'll receive an email confirmation containing information about transferring funds, back into your wallet once you're ready to cash out. That means with your email address, you'll receive an email saying your funds are ready and you should expect it in your wallet. And so all of these items are very important because we need to act professionally. We need to make sure that we understand one another. We are on the same page with this, and you understand everything that is being done at every stage. And that is very, very critical for you to clearly understand what we are doing, okay? So this is very, very important that you think. Now, for those ones who have already filled the form, don't be quick. You need to understand that once the private trust exchange gets the information, there's no return. That's what they go with. So if you say you're selling the whole 500 XVMs, they expect the whole 500 XVMs. If you say I sell 100 or 200, that's what they will concentrate on. So that's very, very important that you understand that this is very critical. And again, that is the form. Now we're going to have another form that will deal with those ones again who have their Weowns and want to exchange it to XWeowns. There'll also be a Google form which will detail all that information, including how many months would you like to hold any exchange value position. Are you holding it for 1 month? That is $1. Are you holding it for 2 months? That is $2. Are you holding it for 10 months? That is $10, like that. Okay, so that's a very, very important opportunity for you to understand. And again, read. The more you read, the more intelligent and the more understanding you're able to understand all this information. And that's what it makes our company different from any other company. We spoon feed you with that information upfront so that you have all that you will need, okay, to understand that very, very critically. So with that said, I'm now taking you back to our presentation to continue with this important information that we have just discussed. And we've just shown you the XVM Private Trust website, which is live. I've explained to you the importance of you going through it carefully, read that information as many times as possible. At least the minimum is 9 times, and make notes. That way, your mind will start to concentrate, and then you will act as someone who is knowledgeable, creative, disruptive, than acting with emotions, because every time you act with emotions, you have challenges. So what are the main challenges that you have? My kid is not at school. I don't have transport. I don't, or maybe I have this challenge. Put it down. And then before you think about other things that are gonna distract you, first think of things that have really been a great burden to your life now, before any other thing that you wanna think about, cars, houses. Think about the critical things. Then after you finish that, then if you want more things, budget for more Weowns, go into the Weowns exchange program and budget more other things in different stages. So you can say stage 1, I'm meeting these goals of my challenges. Stage 2, I'm meeting these goals, like that, until you get to the goal of buying a house or going to holidays and stuff like that. So that's very, very important. You better implement it in a very creative way. So that way, you'll be very creative. Now, as you know very well, it's now over a year. We had a 1-year anniversary with our company, Weownomy Platform Corporation. And Weownomy means we own our economy. And this is a very fast company that deals with the personal well-being. Never before we really thought that it's very important. Companies concentrate on the personal economic needs of the people. There's been quite different economic needs in different ways, but a greater deal of it is as we have a platform that allows to educate you, allows to show you, allows as we build it in front of your eyes. We build XWeons, stablecoin in front of your eyes. We have built the Weownomy flagship product, which is a cryptocurrency, in front of your eyes. And now the Weownomy chart, which is right away, and we have some good news today that you'll learn about it. It will be launching. That one also is built it in front of your eyes. And we have other different projects that are going to come through. And now we also have the e-money regulated entity, which also we talked in form of Weownomy Neobank. Also having a system, someone allowing us, a group of wonderful entrepreneurs who understand our ecosystem, and they say, hey, I think this regulated e-money license entity can work for your ecosystem. What a breakthrough for the Weownomy ecosystem. It's powerful. What does that mean? We can be able to allow you to have your own debit cards, merchant cards. We can be able to also tap the whole crypto industry, where digital assets from different individuals, and we can be able to use that to build a global adoption of XWeons globally. We can do a great deal for the zero-cost economy. And so Weownomy has tremendously and disruptively devolved to something that no one had ever thought possible in terms of making sure that most of our people can be able to see such an amazing breakthrough. And so today, as you're going to be able to learn this important, amazing breakthrough coming through, and it's very, very powerful. So as we go ahead, knowing what Weownomy is, again, it's very important as a co-owner to understand your ecosystem. If you understand your ecosystem, you understand how blessed you are, and you can make a business out of this unique ecosystem. We have a huge ecosystem that we have. I congratulate Daniel Sevinya from Uganda. You have a wonderful reality TV show. You've come up with very wonderful ideas, and that's how this ecosystem can help you. We have wonderful musicians who can come through with this project. We have different ecosystems, different businesses that can also use the Weownomy ecosystem, because the Weownomy ecosystem has everything that you need to accomplish. Look at that, and you're going to be able to build something amazing out of this. So, and again, it's a global ecosystem, and so that's very, very powerful. Now, back to the website. Again, we're connecting the XWeon holders and the private trust exchange XBond investors in one place. So that website that we have just seen there, the goal is to make it easier for holders of XWeons to connect with the XBond investors who wish to execute deals over the counter in a secure way, while also making it easier for those wishing to invest into XBonds, an opportunity they may not have had before. So you benefit, they benefit. It's a win-win situation. So as you complete the information of how many XWeons you want to sell, you are actually creating an equivalent of XBond investors who are coming on board to execute that XWeons revenue financing on your behalf, which is 60%, as they walk away with 40%. Okay. Remember, XWeons is a stablecoin worth 282 per token that will tap into the liquidity of the XBond private trust exchange market, while making it possible for holders to cash out at any time in exchange for USDT, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Okay. And this platform, it's a faster settlement timing with 60% revenue that is put up to finance the stablecoin, and that 60% is what the XWN holders actually receive. So it's a major way, major tool for financing XWNs by issuing bonds. And as I told you, that's how the United States dollar has survived, by allowing the oil industry. Every time you hear the fuel price is increasing, remember the pricing is set in United States dollar, and the people who set that pricing, the whole OPEC organization, they have to buy the treasuries, and the treasuries are bonds. And that's how the United States is a superpower, using their currency. This is going to be the same with XWNs, with X-bond investors who will be financing you, okay, so that you can be able to cash out. And the arrangement with the XWNs is so beautiful, because we allow to give 40% back to the bondholders, making sure we don't incur any debt. They are able to get an annual interest, and they're able to right away, when you cash out, they're able to share the 40%. But remember, at the DeFi protocol, you are the person who benefits. So what you need to do as you cash out from the private trust exchange, make sure you also participate in the DeFi protocol. That way you build more wealth and you protect and become a successful entrepreneur going forward, okay? So it's amazing, very, very important for you to understand what we're talking about, okay? Now, again, the faster settlement time, the private trust exchange have the capability to launch faster settlement time to allow 60% revenue of self to fund the tokens. What 60% means, they get the 100%, but 60% is sent to the people who trade the XWNs. 40% is shared between the private trust exchange and the bondholders, okay? So this will be achieved by swapping funds in the back end, so that the settlement time is reduced from days or weeks to seconds, and all proceeds from the XBond sales go towards funding the XWN tokens, the 282 per token, under an exchange-traded instrument with faster settlement timing. What that means, the XBond is operating under a white label exchange-traded instrument, which is on Swiss exchange, which is on Vienna Stock Exchange, which is on Germany Stock Exchange, and it can be passported across the European Union. And then the private trust exchange, they already have high net worth investors, pension funds, institutional investors, family offices, who want to see if this bond is regulated, and absolutely it is. And so they pick up the fee structure of 40% for every XWN token sell. That every XWN token that you sell, they take the 40%, share it between the bondholders and the private trust exchange, and it creates an incentive for both parties, for you and for the bondholders, because the bondholders get their share of revenue before any other type of investor. So this X bond becomes very attractive because many bonds don't have this kind of structured bond, because they normally get in interest annually. They invest in a program like the way like the way the IMF does. They go to the market, get the funds, and then they loan them to the African countries. And they tell you after 10 years, we want X amount of money, which we'll get from the taxpayers. Now, the difference here is with the token holders, the 40% goes directly to the bondholders. So in addition for them waiting, they receive instantly 40% from each one of you who's selling. That's a great incentive. For you, it's also a great incentive because the token sale is quick. And then as every now and then, every quarter it increases. That's why be careful. Don't sell your tokens recklessly. Understand the information that we provide you. Every quarter, the token increases 30%. So make sure you sell in different quarters to get different increased values instead of just selling everything and you don't get everything. So you spread out your values so that you know, okay, if I sell in my first quarter, I sell 150 tokens, and in another quarter, I sell 150 Weowns. I mean, XWeowns will be 366, and then in another quarter, it will be something probably 400. And so you have something increased value over there, and go back and buy Weowns and do a great deal so that you make sure, because the Weowns, XWeowns you're getting is a one-time. So the only way you're going to get the XWeowns is for you to pay $282. So be very careful the decisions you make. The only way you can win the war of poverty is by looking long-term and learn that you don't have to eat everything just because you're suffering. You have to spread out so that you can be able to deal with different challenges that come in different months down the line. Okay, so that's very, very important for you to remember. So while the XWeowns holder receives his or her 60% share after through the X-bond revenue financing, 282 per token, and depends how many tokens you're selling. So you need to sit down and understand in the first quarter, these are my needs that I need to meet. In the second quarter, these are my needs I need to meet. And make sure every time you sell the XWeowns, you have a backup plan to generate more revenue in what you intend to spend. Don't just sell to spend. If you sell and spend 90 or 100%, you are already poor. Any person who receives money and spends it without having a portion that can generate back more income, immediately you have qualified yourself back to the street. So make sure you understand that whatever I have, do I understand how I can multiply it so that I can continuously have some good income stream down the road? That's very, very important. If you don't have that, go look for financial advisors, sit with them, tell them, this is what I expect. How can I be able to have good ways of implementing the strategy so that you implement it knowing that you have even other ideas from other people? And that's what I do. I do share with you. So learn also to share your ideas with other people to correct you. So that way you can know that you will be able to match all of the challenges that you have. Okay, so it's very, very important people to have that a clear perspective. So the incentive, this incentivizes holders and X-bond investors not only to promote XWeowns within their own networks, but also bring liquidity into XWeowns marketplace, which benefits everyone. That means as you quickly get your XWeowns funded, and as the bondholders get their 40%, you all have something that unites you in a unique bond that allows the whole economy of XWeowns to grow quickly because it's a win-win situation for everyone. Okay, so that is critically important. Now, with that said, and again, I really encourage you to read as many times as possible because we provide you a lot of information. You are aware that now the XWeowns Private Trust Exchange website is live. It's there to connect XWeowns holders with the X-bond Private Trust Exchange investors. You go in the website, you register, have a pen and paper. Read 9 times before you touch that form, because that form is your life, and make important decisions. You can think it's very easy, it's very, simple English, but it requires your effort to understand what you're doing. Because we're talking of money here, okay? So you go in, provide more information by entering the details requested about your 500 XWions sell amount. How much do you want to sell, depending on your quarterly needs? Don't just look there and you say, I'm excited, I'm selling everything. Remember, XWions is global. XWions is not going anywhere. You will be the one who will go if you don't use this opportunity the right way. You will be successful if you listen, and if you come, have a pen and paper, learn to write your needs. Stop talking about cars and houses first. Start with the basic needs. What makes me suffer on a daily basis? Put those things down, and then you will be able to say, in the first quarter, I'm meeting my basic needs to make sure there's always food in the room, in my house. There's always transport for me to go out. If I fall sick, I can be able to. And then that is, make it a 30% target. Another 30%, make sure you say, I need to buy more more wheels, so that I can have more money. Now we're generating more money. You're not just spending. Don't just spend and say, I'm just spending everything. Because after spending, how are you going to maintain yourself in another month and in another month? Okay? So it is very, very important that you do that. 30% your basic needs, 30% your strategic needs, go back and buy wheels. Another percentage you can also look and share with other people, but try and make sure you always have to understand that your needs come first, your family comes first, and your strategic needs that allows you to build more money comes critically very important. That means go back and buy wheels, come back and exchange wheels for XWions, $1, $2. That way you're going to be smart enough. You're going to be successful enough, and you will win the war of poverty. The war of poverty is not won just by having the money first, but having the money and having a right plan to implement the money. Listen again, having the money, having the right plan to implement your money by starting with the basic needs, with the strategic needs, then your social needs. So basic needs, you must not lack food, you must not lack where to sleep, you must not have any health problem and you cannot meet it. And your children and family members must always be well taken care of you. That is basic need. Strategic need means you must always make sure you also have income coming in. Now, your easiest way, go and buy wheels. Because sometimes if you go to other businesses that you don't understand, and then the money goes, you have lost a great deal, and you go back to stressful ways of having problems. So make sure you do the thing quickly, go buy your wheels, 30%, make sure you budget 30% for basic needs, and then the rest, make sure you can deal with your social needs. You want to, take yourself out, whatever you want to do with your family members and stuff like that. That way, you have a balanced way of implementing your plan. If you don't have that simple plan, basic needs, strategic needs, your social needs, you're going to make mistakes, and you are already qualified to go into the poverty-related problems that we are fighting to get through out of these challenges, okay? So that is critically important for you to think and make sure that you solve that problem clearly, and very, very important. Now, when an ex-born investor executes their deal. That means they have received your Xweowns order. They will swap funds into your account and you will pay 40% fee for agreed token sales. So what happens is you send in your Xweowns, they put in the money, they take the 40%, and you take your 60%. Now, so that's the most important thing. The website becomes the main gate for both you and the private trust to interact with each other securely. This will be a major step in Xbond's liquidity creation process that enables private transaction between our users and funding required for Xweowns, which is 282 per token. But remember, 40% of it goes back to the creators who have funded your Xweown. And remember, that's how the United States dollar is powerful, by using the petrodollar, using the fuel that you see increasing. Every time the fuel increases, just know that the US dollar is strengthening. And because all the people in Africa and all over the world, they buy the fuel using the US dollar account, and because the producers actually are buying the treasuries, which is the treasury bonds of the United States. So we should also see that happen with Xweowns. Very powerful, very, very powerful. This initiative of Xbond, it's gonna be big. It's gonna make you very powerful, but you need to be smart to be powerful. Don't waste that opportunity, because you will never be rich by making the wrong decisions. You are gonna be rich by making the right decisions, thoughtful decisions, that you sit down with your financial advisors and make these important decisions. I'm gonna be happy to see your testimonies, because that is the best way we know that we were able to introduce the personal economic revolution that you also participated in. What we are doing as a company is we've brought the resources that allows you to cash out. You need to do your own duty to allow and make sure that you implement your own plans that requires your basic needs, strategic needs, social needs, balance them out, but avoid spending. Every time you receive money, if you spend 90 or 100%, you are poor, even when you have it. So make sure you very creative, very intelligent, and balance out how you split out your funds, okay? So this is very critical for you to understand that. And I think I've taken a great deal of time to explain to you that critical importance. And that's why I say that if you really take your time to listen and see what the Weownomy information and the Zoom meetings are all about, is to educate you and to build your personal economic life, which is very critical, by providing you the information, showing you the strategy, building the strategy in front of your eye, implementing it, actualizing it, and see you through successful, so that you can also accomplish that what you desire. And that's what we say. The future is fast means you can be able to see what you'll become, and you are able to see how you go through it step by step. That's very critical. Now, with this second presentation slide, I'm very happy to let you know that Weownomy is completing the final steps to acquire a regulated e-money license platform in the eyes of man in between United Kingdom and and Ireland. And for Xweowns stablecoin global adoption. What that means is big, because as you know very well, this has been our dream with let me show you, with the neobank that we mentioned the other time. So it's very, very important that, again, we also share with you share with you what this means. Now, as you well know, we have been informing you repeatedly about what we intend to implement, okay? And this is the Weownomy New Bank, and the whole essence of this is it is going to be set up in the United States, but the limitations in the United States was that we could only have this e-money platform only for United States people, which again, United States is big and it has many users. But again, we also wanted a platform that is global, that can allow anyone in the world to participate. Now, what we have decided with the new arrangement, with this new e-money platform in United, which is in between Great Britain and Ireland, which is actually Europe, the Isle of Man, is that it can serve the whole world. And that is great news, because it allows us to offer you all of the services. They already have the whole ecosystem ready, the proprietary intellectual information, the platform and everything. And so what happens is I will simply be included amongst the board of directors and additional board of directors that we have on the new board of the e-money regulated platform entity. And that way we are simply changing. They had a plan to deal, the current owners had a plan to deal with the gaming technologies, whereby people who are in the gaming industry can easily be served by that e-money platform. But now we have this opportunity to replace it with Weownomy, which is very powerful, having our stablecoin globally. That means we can have accounts from USDT, we can have accounts from Ethereum lovers, Bitcoin lovers, we can have accounts from Shareholders, we can have accounts from many different crypto lovers out there. Number one. Number two, it will also be used to power Weownomy chat. And so that means every user who will be on our Weownomy chat will have an account with us, with a credit card and all the important services that will be unveiled. This is going to be very quick, and we are working with the team swiftly to make sure that the acquisition is done in the best way and very fast and filling up. We've already signed a memorandum, and we have followed. It's going to be followed with other different important information I'm going to share with you. But it's a big step in the history of Weownomy, that the Weownomy ecosystem will now be able to actually be having this, which is powerful. It now builds more trust. More people will take us seriously to understand that this is an ecosystem that has an e-money license, and that e-money license first and foremost powers our stablecoin, and that stablecoin captures the whole of the crypto industry. That is amazing, over $1 trillion. And so it's going to be very powerful. Exchanges will use it. Every different ecosystem in the crypto industry will come in there. Our Weownomy ecosystem, social media platform will use it. It's big. That's what we call the future is fast. Okay, so that's very important, and we will be in position to share with you a great deal of information that I'm sharing with you currently. Right now, so this is critically important, that Weownomy as a global stablecoin to have an e-money license platform entity. So what is going to happen? First, XWions is very fast backed by the X bond. I've taken time to explain to you why powerful it is to have an X bond, and I've actually explained to you how powerful the United States dollar is because of the fuel that you use, and how they came to those strategies that allow the whole world to price their fuel in their currency and making it the most powerful nation in the world with their currency, which is the most powerful globally. And so in our acquisition merger agreement, we are acquiring 100% of the e-money license platform entity, and which is regulated in the ISO of MAN, and it includes its proprietary technology. So that means the whole interface, which will allow people to use it faster. That's going to be very powerful. What is our primary purpose of acquiring this regulated entity? It allows us to get into business very fast. It allows to build a very good brand, and we become the trusted market leader in crypto stability and secure payments. There are two things. Crypto stability means all of the different tokens, starting with Weowns, they will have stability with XWions. Secure payments, XWions can also be used by lovers who want to send money to their loved ones from US, from everywhere. They can be able to use it. And in particular, I'm very happy with our beloved brothers in Zimbabwe. I think this is going to be huge for you guys there, because again, you have something that is stable for your nation independently. You can use that. It's going to be something very powerful. Provides you a payment option for buying XWions and other digital assets such as Weowns, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and you can use it for the international remittances. Okay. We have already signed an MOU with the e-money license entity to acquire 100% of the e-money license platform entity, regulated in the ISO of MAN in Europe. It's between United Kingdom and Ireland. And this is going to be for XWion stable coin global adoption. When you hear the words XWion stable global adoption, it means we are building something more bigger than USDT, and something that is going to be used to not only stabilize the crypto industry, but also to be used for microtransactions on our own Weownomy chart, and also in different other industries that will adopt the stablecoin. Currently, for many of you may not know, many people are using the USDT in Venezuela, in Turkey, where the currencies are collapsing. Now with XWions, it's going to be very massive because we have a whole ecosystem of an e-money license platform entity that will allow as many users globally to just plug in it, and they can be able to really get this big opportunity. So this is great news, and the future is fast. Okay. Now, as again, you're very aware that we are doing something critically very important. Is in the crypto industry, it has never been thought that there will be an option that allows to stabilize the cryptocurrencies. And many people have been drawn away from the cryptocurrencies because of the volatility. And so XWions comes with the exchange program that allows to establish the cryptocurrencies at your own target. If you want it at $1, you're gonna wait for 1 month. You want it at $2, $3, $4, you're gonna wait for 4 months. And that's powerful. As you know very well, the website is launched, and I thought that's very important for you to know that, to reiterate and provide you. And the reason I tell you that you need to read this information 9 times, I'm providing you this information again the second time to allow you to understand that. Sit down, make your plans, and understand the opportunities provided to you, how you can execute those plans. You can hold your Weown tokens and get rewards. The Weown price that you see currently on the market is totally different from what you can get with an exchange value with XWions. Okay? And as you exchange your Weownomy tokens for XV on the private trust exchange, you determine the growth value that you want. You want your growth value with $1, $2. You can spread your Weownomies with different growth values from $1, $2, up to $50. Okay. And so it's a unique token that allows you to have a growth value from $1 up to $50, which means your tokens are more valuable to you than they would be if you traded them on the open market. So for example, you keep your current Weownomy token for 2 months, that guarantees you a $2 worth growth value in new XVN tokens. So it's very, very powerful if you can understand the concept of what we're doing. So what this means, we have an e-money regulated platform. We have a unique growth values that starts with the flagship Weownomy, but we'll also introduce other digital tokens. It's a new way to trade. You hold your tokens for 1 month, 2 months, or more. You maximize the value of each token as it grows. So the new Weownomy for XVN's program is designed to give you more control over the future of your investment because you take control. Currently in the spot market, you don't take control because there's a great speculation going on there. So the best way to get most of what you want from your Weownomy tokens and make them worth more than they are now is by getting through the XVN's private trust exchange website and getting to sit down, look at what your future needs are, what are your immediate needs, what are your immediate short-term needs, what are your quarterly needs, what are your long-term needs, put them clearly, strategize. You're gonna be rich because you understand what you need in the short term, in the quarterly term, and in the long term. They're very important so that you don't run into problems, okay? So that is critically important. I can't emphasize how important the Weownomy for XVN's trade exchange program is. It's critically important. I know very well that you want the 500 XVN's program, and that's why I started to explain about it. But again, the long-term value is by getting more of your Weownomy into the XVN's trade exchange program, okay? And allowing you to hold for a month with the exchange value of $1 and then $2, like that. And that way we avoid further dumping of the tokens, and we're able to enable a fair distribution of the tokens. And so this is very, very important for you to make sure that as you hold the tokens for even up to 12 months, you have a greater increase of your growth value. And this is a new way to buy and sell a Weownomy token and make sure that you have a good trade value that you're able to exchange them with. So that's very powerful. And knowing that the whole premise of how the XVN holders are going to cash out is built on the Xpon's liquidity creation that is going to be internally with the private trust exchange, and that is critically important. And I remember the other time I gave you this understanding that Weownomy is the only stablecoin that is linked with its own unique bond program that is traded by millions, the $1 million investors. So unlike other stablecoins, we have an entirely new liquidity concept that uses the expense between $1 million buyers and sellers in return for a guaranteed 40% fee. Percentage of this fee is then shared with all the Xbond holders, as well as providing stability through a buyback program, which has now been increased to 60%. So this means that if you're ever worried about the token going down in value, you can now be rest assured knowing they're backed by a risk-free internal bond exchange, both on the OTC and on the exchange-traded instrument, which is on both the Swiss exchange, Vienna exchange, and the Germany exchange, the Stuttgart exchange, and it's passported in all the European nation countries. So that's very powerful. And the way it works, you have sellers, for example, with 101 million X bonds, and then we have buyers on the private trust exchange, buying it at $98 million. And then the X-bond XVN holders received the 30 million, which is being spread. So that way, with the X-bond, we can build any liquidity program that is required for as many different token holders or issuance that we make in the market. It's a very, very transparent program that can be easily accounted for, and it's going to really change the way the stablecoin industry is in the market, because again, XVN is a very, very fast stablecoin that deals with the crypto stability, and again, deals with the payment, with its own payment system that can also be used in microtransactions. So that is big and that is amazing. And it's going to be huge. Just watch and see what's going to happen with this wonderful stablecoin that already has a clear infrastructure ecosystem already to be implemented. And please, again, read that website as many times as possible with a pen and paper. Make your notes. Be experts of your own ecosystem, and that's very, very powerful, as you understand. Remember, XVN is a revolutionary stablecoin. What do we mean that it's a revolutionary stablecoin? It deals with your needs, and it deals with the needs of everyone in the crypto industry that faces the issue of fluctuation, of volatility. And so it provides 100% stability guarantee using the X-bond program. And as the private trusts create bonds called X-bonds for $1 million buyers and sellers in return for a guaranteed 40% fee, which is then shared with all the X-bond holders, as well as providing stability through a buyback program. That means that there will be never a challenge for the same X-bond investors. They have a clause that if there's a huge challenge in the market and there's a great supply, they're going to be able to meet and make sure they let us know what is required for them to buy back at increased level up to 60%. So that's something very, very powerful. And as a bond blockchain program, it's amazing, and it's going to create stability and prevent XVN token values from fluctuating, meaning you never have to worry about your value going down. So it's very, very, very interesting what we have. And someone wants to know what are X-bonds and how X-bonds stabilize the XVN. It starts by them generating the revenue, which is 60%, and they take the 40%, and that alone increases the greater demand for the bond. So they're designed to keep the price of XVN tokens stable and allow you to profit as they increase in value. This is done by buying back XVN tokens at a predetermined price if they fall below that amount at any time. The X-bond investors have the mandate to make sure it is bought at. So it's a coordinated community network with both the rich and the XVN holders, knowing that they have to keep this token balanced in the best way possible. Remember, in the DeFi platform, it's automatically balanced, but now with the X-bond, this is off the DeFi. It's done very, very different way. So the buying of the X-bond allows holders to sell on the open market when XVN prices go up, or repurchase when prices go down. It's amazing what this all truly means for everyone who's interested in participating. And so we've done a lot of emphasizing how important the private trade platform and how they're launching the liquidity for X-bond, and how that again generates the liquidity profits for XVN holders and X-bond holders. So it's amazing. So it's a new way to make sure that the XVN will always fix 282 token liquidity and 30% increase every quarter. So X-bond sellers, when the 282 value increases, to 30% value quarterly, and the Exponent buyers target the quarterly 30% increase in XUMs and in case the value goes down. So it's very, very, very interesting how this whole thing is done. And then all of this is done with the Private Trust Internal Bond Exchange Program. And it's important, as you know, that the Private Trust Exchange will always be available to buy back the tokens from you at 282 or new quarterly purchase price if it has increased, even if you don't want to sell them back immediately, okay? So it's amazing, and they do it in big numbers. They trade in between 100 million to 10 billion in a day. So that means we can be able to have a greater way of meeting any liquidity needs for any of the tokens issuance that are going on. And for your information, we have a greater understanding of the picture here of all the different assets that are now going on the blockchain. And so $215 trillion is part of the global debt. And so the Exponent has a great deal to tap into that and make something very interesting. And with a new product, and that's with the Exponent, which is part of the new product, it has a great deal to build a unique $1 trillion market for quite important strategic XUN stablecoin. And so we have all these important attributions coming from very, very recognized bodies, companies, including even the World Bank. They also have part of their bonds that they have tested out. So we already find the game, and so it's critically important. And so again, as I discussed with you last week, I provided you a clear phase of what really happens. And the very first phase will deal with the 250,000 of you guys who are selling your 500 XUNs, depending your appetite and what you're selling. And the new XUNs for XUNs exchange program, which includes the exchange of WUNs to XUNs. And the target is they can run from 5 billion to 300 billion liquidity creation mechanism for Exponent, targeting every XUNs at 282. And the percentage of the fee they will always be taking is 30%. And the phase 2 and phase 3 is to always create more liquidity with $1 million Exponent holders as it expands globally and to be used by all the crypto industry. So that's critical. Now, it's also very, very important for you to also understand about the Tether, the USDT, 90 million USDT one-on-one DeFi program. What we've been requested is they would like to see a 300 XUNs private trust exchange Exponent transaction. For that, it means that Tether will mine 90 million USDT against XUN. So what they want is the private trust exchange will first do the same value of the transaction, which is nearly 80 million. And then that transaction is confirmed with Tether, and then Tether mines 90 million, because Tether will always be keeping 300 of XUNs in the treasury as they continue. So anytime we need more USDT, we just have to match more of the 300 XUNs. But the very first three, I mean, more of any amount of XUNs we want. But initially, 300,000 XUNs Exponent transaction has to happen on the private trust exchange. And then from there, Tether will use that transaction to mine or to produce 90 million USDT, or as many much USDT. We are targeting over $1 billion USDT to be precise for all of the transactions. So you can see how powerful XUNs is and what XUNs can actually be able to do, because it's going to be something critically important, okay? As I told you, we already have an account with Tether, which will receive over the 90 million. We are targeting up to $1 billion USDT after the first transaction that will be met, and so that we can be able to implement a great deal of the program. So we have a lot coming with Tether, USDT, and all the ecosystem of the crypto industry. So finally, we are launching Weownomy Chat app, which will pay users using the XVeon e-money license platform. I am just filling up a very important production. I'm filling up a master agreement with our important developers. We have two wonderful, unique, important developers who are working on this. And, you know, the launch of Weownomy Chat is amazing, powerful. It's going to change the whole community ecosystem. I'm watching very keenly what is happening with Twitter acquisition by Elon Musk and what this means as we play up with Weownomy Chat coming through. I'm also watching closely what is happening with Metaverse, and all that is happening in there. Weownomy Chat with its own XVeon's e-money license platform is going to be something very powerful. We now have an industry. You know, XVeon's is needed urgently by the whole crypto economy. Weownomy Chat is going to be powered by XVeon's. XVeon's is going to also power the international remittances. XVeon's will also be used by microtransactions within the Weownomy Chat ecosystem. And so it is very, very, very big news for you to understand that XVeon stablecoin and Weownomy Chat launching is big news. And again, I salute two very important Botswana Weownomers who actually made the meeting possible. We had a while ago, I think a couple of weeks ago, a meeting with Orange Botswana, Mascom Wireless Botswana, and I can assure you, we're very, very excited with our concept. And they are looking to integrate and make sure we have more of these important strategic meetings. And so we wanted to move forward. And now with Weownomy Chat launching and having Mascom Wireless and Orange, those ones alone will give us a wonderful case study to be able to attract any other telecommunication industry to participate in making sure that they get through with Weownomy Chat. So we have a very great footstep in Botswana. Thank you, fellow, and thank you, Isaac. You guys, you really did wonderful in your case. You're gonna make us proud by having Weownomy Chat app. We really had a very insightful meeting, and you guys are very, very intelligent Weownomers, and for that, the Weownomy board will also consider making sure that we have you on Class A if you're not already Class A citizens, and for that, because you guys, you've done something amazing, bringing these giants, telecommunication giants, and as we finished our meeting, we agreed that we're going to provide more information, and this is the best time to provide them additional information as we launch the Weownomy Chat app, which will be within this month, to make sure that it builds and greets a lot of people. We're gonna show something. Now we're talking about Weownomy Chat. We now have been able to establish our own stablecoin, XVeon's, which now allows us to launch Weownomy Chat big and making it a very wonderful way to tap the whole of the African continent and the whole different section entities globally using the regulated e-money license platform that is going to power Weownomy Chat, power XVeon's, and allow the microtransactions. The first app that will use XVeon's stablecoin is Weownomy Chat, and XVeon's stablecoin and Weownomy Chat have arrived, now users will be paid for chatting and other social media interactions with Weownomy chat using XWeon's stablecoin. That's what I was telling you. If you understand your ecosystem, you're going to understand how far, what challenges we have gone through, and what we are building a successful historical business, a revolutionary business that allows your personal economic needs to be addressed and millions of other different people also economic needs to be addressed. So you decide what personal data is shared when. We only share the information you choose for marketing purposes, so you can earn rewards for sharing more about yourself, being paid in XWeon. Okay. Now, again, this is very important. A new chat app owned by the users and for the users, totally different from any other social media platform out there. It's a chat app owned by the users and for the users. So it's finally an opportunity to get paid for using the ads, the chat app, starting with $1. A game changer in social media. Be paid for every message you send. I mean, every message. You spend more time on the app means more rewards. Okay? So that is critically important. On your chat, on your messages, and social media posts. And remember, the future is fast as we launch Weownomy chat, as we launch XWeon with its e-money license regulated in the eyes of man. I'm telling you, it's like we bring together the crypto economy, we bring together the social media, we bring together different ecosystems around the zero-cost crypto economy. We have not even started even with the zero-cost crypto economy, but that alone shows you how massive our whole ecosystem is and the opportunity it provides you. So Weownomy chat uses a market-leading cryptocurrency called XWeon, backed by 282 per token in the form of Xbond Liquidity as an alternative payment option for social media users. Okay. Now, again, you chat with a purpose to be rewarded. So every time you chat, you know you have a purpose and you're going to be able to be rewarded. And you know, we own it all in terms of your time, your data, your post. Everything you post in there is monetized. And from your social media content, we're going to pay users worldwide in XWeon stablecoin, 100% secure payment option. It doesn't mean we pay you 282, but we pay you in micro. That's 0 point something like that. It's going to be more stable. An entire new way to pay social media users. So we have a massive industry. Now, it's something, again, very powerful with what we are launching. For the first time, an app, a Weownomy chat, and for us to build a global adoption, every individual user who registers their account on our global app to go live on App Store or Google Play Store this month will receive $5 worth of XWeon tokens upon registration. That is big. That sends a big message globally, and it's going to attract a great number of users globally, and our development team are going to incorporate that. So you get paid for your thoughts, you get paid for your opinions, you get paid for your likes on Weownomy chat, and you get paid faster. Okay? Remember, we are introducing a $5 worth of XWeon tokens upon registration. You just tell someone to download the app and he qualifies for $5 worth of XWION tokens upon registration linked with the e-money license entity registered, regulated entity. And so that means you have an account which will allow you to redeem that amount in XWIONs. And that is going to do the magic. So the best part of you are the owner. You can choose what you want, your followers, friends, customers to see, post or do without fear of censorship, because you control your own content, not someone else's rules, and you're paid for it. And then our vision is simple. We believe that every person should have access to an ownership stake in a company they're passionate about, while having complete control over how they share their ideas and creativity online. Remember, it's a very fast app, allow users who register their account on a global app going live this month will receive $5 worth of XWION tokens upon registration. What does that mean? Initially, we wanted people to pay $1. The board is turning that around to say, we are welcoming, and you're gonna see the game plan of Weownomy, a disruptive company, every time. And there's something that you guys are going to be shocked. I'm just doing it behind the scene, but it's going to blow the world. But right now, no, $5 worth of XWIONs, you don't pay us anything, it will be deposited to you. We have managed to give you 500 XWIONs, and we can now be able to do the 5 worth of XWION tokens upon registration to all social media users who are going to use our app. The future is past and the future is now. So with that communication, it's very, very important that many people were worried and were thinking that maybe we're no longer talking about XWIONs and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's very, very important. Now we are introduced and giving you more important information about Weownomy Chat. So the first social media chat app to pay users using a stablecoin. This is going to turn around the whole crypto industry, the whole world. It's going to be a very wonderful game-changing opportunity. It's time to share your voice creatively to earn money from chatting. Your own account with e-money regulated entity. And you get paid with XWIONs. You committed and patient community dedicated to this important, wonderful opportunity. And so Weownomy Chat is finally launching and will use the e-money license platform entity regulated in the eyes of man to pay users using XWION stablecoin globally backed by XCOIN liquidity creation to fund the stablecoin as a payment option for paying social media users. That is very, very important, very critically important. And remember, when we say you own your charter and be paid in XWION stablecoin, it's massive. XWION for users, 282 per token, a safer way to pay for your favorite content creators. Weownomy Chat is the new standard in chat apps, and will use a stablecoin as its currency of choice to reward the user engagement. It's a true social media currency and self-sustainable economy. And remember, there is another big social media company in Asia that has just approached us for a deal. That means we could also bring them. They also have a community of over 500,000 plus users. They have a similar kind of concept like ours. And I am in touch with the CEO, and they wanted to power the social media with their own token. Their own token is not doing good. And so they want to come into the ecosystem. They're very much interested in the zero cost digital economy. And so there's going to be a way we can also bring them, and that's going to be massive as we launch our own Weownomy chart and bringing them together with us. I'm just looking for ways, and I'll be discussing with you on how that will be. We could be able to blow up the whole of Asia and bring and also unite, and as we bring Asia, bring Africa together, and then Weownomy is already incorporated in the United States. There's something also big that is going to happen within the United States, something that we are working behind the scenes. And so this could really turn around to become something historical. And again, as you know, the future is fast. Be creative, be attentive, be intelligent, and less gossip, more creativity. You have a lot to just really learn from what we present to you. And you're going to be something very, you're going to learn something very, very powerful. And I'm very, very excited with what is coming yo. So the XWeon stablecoin with a world of benefits. So we have the first benefit, we're going to turn around the crypto economy. The second benefit, we're going to turn around the social media industry globally. The third benefit, it's a revolutionary stablecoin for your personal economic needs. You get paid for your social media time, a real-time charter that pays you. Finally launching, and to pay users with XWeon stablecoin, it's finally here. You're going to earn more time in your spare time, worldwide payments, one token to rule them all, including even international remittances. So it's something very, very, very important. So join us in the global movement for free speech. You own it all, you have it. We all desire a future, the first to make it free for everyone, a community that will never stop growing, wealth creation opportunities, starting with our social media platform, stablecoin, e-money license. We have massive opportunities with our zero-cost digital economy. The zero-cost digital economy is actually more powerful than the metaverse because it deals directly. We can also put that zero-cost digital economy in the metaverse, but as is on its own, it's massive. I can assure you, very powerful. Watch and see. Okay, so we have a great deal coming. Thank you very much. I love you all. I really take a lot of time, very passionate to prepare a great deal for you all. It's always amazing talking to you guys. And I think this is big, wonderful. Go to that website, make sure pen and paper, take your time to articulate what you need, basic needs, strategic needs. Basic needs are the needs that take you to the neighbor. Transport needs, food needs, your kid, your health needs. Put them down. Talk to yourself first. Don't have money and start thinking of things. Don't jump the need hierarchy. Your basic needs come first. Your strategic needs means what can make me more money quickly? Go back and buy more Weowns. Go back and exchange it on an exchange. Spread out $1, $2, $3. Protect your life. Protect, spread out, and you know, I have covered the whole month. My work is just to keep on cashing out at different stages of growth value. And then the social needs, that's when you can also think of others, your loved ones, your families and stuff like that. Very, very critical. And that way you will have done yourself a great way to deal with poverty. If you don't do that and you consistently talk about money without having, receiving money is one thing, implementing it to your fullest desire is another thing. So you need to actually understand that. And when you do that, you have won the war of poverty. But right now, we have not won the war of poverty just because we have one stage of the project which is coming to actualization. the whole ecosystem, the whole infrastructure that we have. But the company can only do one thing, but we also want you to know that every time you're going to be able to implement what you receive, understand that you should never have the problem that has always burdened you. Make sure you plan for it before you even receive it. And then as you receive it, you'll be more disciplined to implement that. Apart from that, again, I salute you all. Thank you. And learn to read that information as many times as possible. Learn to form groups which are creative to be able to learn and train yourself with this critical, important information which you'll not get at school. You're getting it here for free. And that way you will be a successful personality, or your individuality will be known along the way that you are a true Weownomer. So we wouldn't want you to be known as a Weownomer and then you did not succeed. You need to succeed. You need to play your role. So we are completing our role as the company. We are allowing you to also become an example so that when you tell people, you have the before and after story. And that's going to be something very powerful. Thank you very much. Be blessed. I salute you all. I love you all. And again, I wish you the best and remain blessed. Thank you so much.